respect for myself. I don't do it for my health, man, I do it for the belt. Man, I do it to the death, to the roof. Get melt 100 degrees, drop the roof so the coop don't melt.
What's going on, Ant Keepers? Welcome back to another episode of My Antics. Today we're going to be talking about exactly how to feed a colony that is close to jumpstart in a test tube. A jumpstart colony is close to 20 plus workers. When you do get this many workers in a test tube, it's extremely hard to take their cotton out without having workers running all over the place. I've been getting asked a lot exactly how I go along doing this when I feed my ants, and I believe a video would be the best way to help everybody understand exactly what you should do and prepare for when you do feed your colonies. Also, keep in mind that ants do escape. They run on the table and all over your hands mostly. So always have a spare cotton ball around to the side to make sure that when they do escape, you can grab them, pinch them like shown in a previous video, and put them back in their test tube. Here we go, everybody. Let's jump into the mix. It falls a little bit short of 20 workers, but here I have a Camponotus pennsylvanicus colony with 10 plus workers. Demonstrating how to feed them is one thing, but explaining it might be another. When you're ready to feed them, you should always take the cotton off first. Do it slowly, so even if the cotton is off, you don't really rile up the colony inside. After which, you can put the honey. I try to put the honey on the wall, so they're not walking through it when they go left and right. And then you put the cricket closer to the cotton itself. If you don't put it close to the cotton, the queen might actually drag it, or the workers, all the way up to their water cotton. And the next time you look at them, you'll have a rotting corpse up against their clean cotton water supply, which is supposed to be something that they drink from. This is something that I personally do when checking my colonies, though I would be extremely careful because you could flood their whole test tube if you do it wrong. I like to poke the middle of their cotton. See if I can get a close up to this. And you might not be able to see it, but a little bit of water does come forward, and you can watch the water rise right up to where they are. That just makes sure that they do 100% have water. After that, they do get a little bit riled up. But I like to look at it like this. As soon as you put the honey in, they all go for the honey and they calm down, giving you a chance to maintenance just a little bit more than before. I do have an ant on my paintbrush, so let's just wrap them up in cotton and we can put them back in. Now, not everybody might have these, but when I grab the crickets, I have a very long pair of tweezers. And this helps to grab the cricket. As said before, always make sure that you crunch the legs before you put it in, or your cricket could be bucking or jumping around the test tube, even though it has no head. I like to put the honey closer to the inside than the cricket. Like I said before, the farther away the cricket is from the water, the less likely it's going to be put up against it when it's time for them to wrap it up. Sometimes the colony will actually wrap the rotting corpses in cotton. That's their way of trying to keep it contained, and that helps to keep the bacteria and the fungus away from them. Doing maintenance on your colonies that have close to 20 workers can be very stressful if you don't know exactly what to do when they escape. Keep in mind, it's almost impossible to keep workers from escaping when you're maintaining them, but knowing how to put them back in is key. As I've said before, always remember to keep an extra cotton ball around. You never know when it might come in handy. So, ant keepers, what exactly do you do when you need to take food out? Or what happens when there's extra honey that's turning into a dry, sticky liquid in the inside of their test tube? Now we're going to go over exactly how to take the food out and remove old clumped honey. Here we have 2 colonies that need to have their food taken out. Things that I like to use for this are some decently long tweezers, a paintbrush, and possibly a long skinny poker, or a barbecue skewer depending on what you have. Let's start off by taking their cotton out. Remember to move in slow motions. Quick motions get the whole colony startled, and you could have all of the ants running around. I even like to take a paintbrush and slowly stroke any of the small pieces that you can't reach out. After they've been cleaned out, you can put the cotton back on. And then our Campanadas colony is complete. Let's move on to a bit harder of a detail. What happens if your colony still has honey against the wall when you check on them? Well, again, you take the cotton out, and you first want to remove the leftover carcasses. After that, it gets a little bit more complicated, but let me zoom out to show you exactly what you should do. Take a piece of paper towel and rip it so it's a small rectangular square. After that, fold it again and put an edge of it between your tweezers. This is where a mister comes in. I highly recommend a mister. Mist it twice. Now that the paper towel has a little bit of moisture in it, you can go in and pull the leftover honey out. This is also a good method to clean out the cloudy test tubes that you can't see through as well. You can fold the paper towel and go along the insides of the test tube to make sure that there's no cloudiness when you look at them. Whether you're putting food in or taking food out, always remember to do it in a calm and steady fashion. Any quick moves might be interpreted by the ants as a threat or something they should be afraid of, and before you know it, you might have ants all over your hands or all over your table. Staying calm makes sure that they realize eventually that you're there to feed and help them and not there to eat them up or kill them. When you're cleaning up honey or a cloudy test tube, always remember to have a damp paper towel, not soaking wet. You want the paper towel to suck up whatever's inside the test tube, and you don't want to leave streaks of water everywhere. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up everything for today. Subscribe and like if you found any of this video helpful. And remember, forever and always, happy ant keeping.